Welcome to Oyate Today. Oyate in Lakota means people. Oyate Today is sponsored by Security First Bank, your financial partner since 1898. Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC. Hi, welcome to Oyate Today. I am your host, Richie Richards. Oyate Today is produced by Tim and Jackie Gallego. Tim is an enrolled member of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Our guests tonight are Bruce Longfox, Executive Director of Rural American Initiatives here in Rapid City, and Whitney Rencountre, who happens to be a communications coordinator for the Ate program, as well as a parade and powwow committee member for the 2018 Black Hills Powwow and the parade happening here in Rapid City. So thank you both for being here.
Yes.
I appreciate this conversation tonight to talk about the events coming up here in October. So, Bruce, could you talk to us a little bit about yourself and give us a kind of a brief bio and background of yourself, please?
Yes, I've been the Executive Director for Rural America Initiatives since 1992. We've had challenges keeping funding going for all of that time. Head Start is our main program. Ate mentoring program we started in 1994 is our second biggest program. And it's through the mentoring program that we do a lot of our community activities.
Sure, sure. And as a program coordinator, how long have you been with Ate and Rural American Initiatives, Mr. Rencountre?
This just passed the 9th year with Ate and Rural America Initiatives, and now, since being more involved in the community and wanting to pave the way for our students to have roles in our community, Bruce has asked me to be more involved in committees and volunteer activities in the community to build relationships. So now as a communications coordinator for Rural America Initiatives, taken on that role to hopefully expand the opportunities and to build the relationships in our community to promote Native American culture and values and traditions.
Sure. And as part of building those bridges then, as part of that community outreach from Rural American Initiatives and Ate then, would be the 2018 Native American Day Parade here in Rapid City on Saturday, October 6th. So
yes,
definitely.
This is the 4th annual Native American Day Parade. I made a commitment to do the parade for 7 years, and then during that time to hopefully organize to get a committee together to continue it on into the foreseeable future.
And so how did that idea get started then? Obviously it's a huge task to take on, a huge challenge, but how did that idea get started then?
Well, I was aware of Tim Gallego's meeting with Governor Mickelson back in 1990 when they changed Columbus Day to Native American Day, and we were the only state to do that. And I think this is its 28th year. And so some of our people had been on the powwow committee, the Black Hills Powwow Committee, and for a couple of years they tried to do a parade, and it never really caught on. And so when we got more resources available with our Rural America Initiatives organization, and we were already doing a lot of community activities, especially with Menelusahan Okola Kichiapi ambassadors. We decided to go ahead and take on the parade and to take the lead. We've had a lot of help doing that, but that's where the idea came from, originally from Tim, but also from the Black Hills Powwow as well.
Sure. You mentioned that year 1990, the original date and the original first Native American Day happened on October 8th, which is Native American Day this year. So very special time this year as well. But I wanted to ask you now, how important was it, or how important is it that change from Columbus Day to Native American Day took place as far as a community member, business leader, and from your perspective, basically?
Well, even looking around at the artwork in Rapid City, there's very little, I think, the eagle that they put over at Central was the first large piece of artwork that kind of recognized that there were Native Americans in the community. And then down by Prairie's Edge, there was the Midakuye Oyase statue across the street, and then the controversial statue of the man handcuffed standing out front. Those were the first times that there'd been any recognition that we're part of the community. And we make up 25% of the Rapid City population. And so it was very important in changing from Columbus Day to Native American Day, just to recognize who we were, that we were still here, that we're still a viable and progressive culture, and that the children, that's my personal thing, we want the children to be proud of being Native American and not to carry on the shame that they were taught in the boarding schools.
Sure, sure. And Whitney, now, as a committee member for the parade then, when did you guys start planning this parade for this year anyway? As far as, you know, how many months, how long does it take to put on something like this then?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the last few meetings that we've been a part of, there's been new folks that have stepped in for interest and wanting to know what's going on, and some of the folks kind of joke like, wow, you guys are a well-oiled machine at this point, and you know, how does this happen? Well, it took us about 4 years to actually get to this point, because early on, as Bruce said, when we took on you know, the task of bringing this back into Rapid City, there's been a challenge. So for the past 4 years, it's been a year-round you know, action, I guess, because Rapid City Community Conversations partners with us and build a website and kind of helps with taking the registration. And so I think those partnerships have kind of now created a thing where we all kind of play our roles in making sure things are done. Bruce leads it, and then Community Conversations kind of helps pick up where they need to. So it's a year-round planning and adjusting and such. So quite the task.
Sure, and you had mentioned these different organizations or outside groups helping with this project and such, with some of the websites, some of the technical stuff, but your theme this year is bringing our community together. Where did that theme come from, and how important is that in our current time here in Rapid City?
Yeah, you know, I think we've been a divided community for many years for various reasons, but historically across the nation, when it comes to Native American and non-Native relationships, it seems like there's a division, quite a distinctive division. And one of the things that we wanted to do as our role as Rural American Initiatives and the Oyate and Head Start programs, we felt like it was important for us to start developing those relationships so that when our children get to be our age, that the groundwork would already be done and things will be better for them, or that at least they would have a better opportunity to live their lives, to not have to deal with some of the racism and some of the things that historically across the country we've had to deal with. And I think when we start to learn about the traditional values of our culture, we start to understand that we are disciplined, we are hard workers, we are very good at what we do. A lot of times it will take the non-Native culture a willingness to open up and provide some relationships with our people, because right now Rural American Initiatives and maybe IHS, maybe Great Plains Tribal Chamber's Health Board are the only ones that are really bringing that relationship and allowing people to come from the reservation to the city and start to make a livelihood here. So we need more people in our community to do that.
Sure. And Bruce, you bring up a good point there, Whitney, but Bruce, could you talk about some of those support services that help families coming up from the reservations then, as far as their students being a part of Oyate, Rural American Initiatives, Head Start programs? Could you talk about what those services mean for our community then?
Well, I can talk mostly about our programs. At Head Start, we try to work with the whole family, where we'll help them to try to find housing, we'll help them to try to find employment, and we'll put a plan together for them to work on education and just getting more stability in the family so it will benefit the kids. But there are a lot of programs out there. I mean, Cornerstone Rescue Mission, Department of Social Services helps with, especially with daycare support, and they help the families work and pay for that daycare while they work. There's WAVY, the Women's Violence Program, the Circle program at Behavior Management, and there is, Suzanne and Great Plains Tribal Chairman's Health Board that provide employment, and that's the key, I think, is having people earning a livable wage and being able to provide for their families. And I think that's what creates the stability for our children anyway, and helps them then to be successful on the road.
Sure, it's almost like helping the Native American community in Rapid City. Having a stable Native community helps Rapid City to be a more stable city and it just kind of goes in a circle, I guess. Thank you very much for that. Let's take a break. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
You can't predict life's ups and downs. You just give it all you've got to stay on top. But it's easier with a partner like Security First Bank. Since 1898, we've been riding with you through the country's biggest ups and downs. And this is where we'll stay. Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
We are not so different, you and I. We may be from different places, but the sun that greets me in the morning, the sun that warms the hills, is the same sun that greets you. We are all connected. We are all family. Mitakuye Oyase.
It's really busy in the coffee house, not just in the morning, but all day long. And it's really important that we serve our customers hot coffee that's ready for them when they're ready for it.
We get that, Michelle. And our team at Black Hills Energy will make sure you have the electricity you need to keep that Java nice and hot. Speaking of hot Java, how about a cup for the road? Black Hills Energy. Life sponsored by Energy.
Native Sun News has been voted the best weekly newspaper in its class for 2015 by the South Dakota and North Dakota Newspaper Associations. You can find a copy of the Native Sun News at many businesses and vending machines in Rapid City and the surrounding area, and on all 9 reservations. We publish every Wednesday, so advertisers and subscribers can reach our diverse readership by calling 605-721-1266. The Native Sun News covers the other side of the story.
Hi, welcome back to Oyate Today. Once again, our guest tonight is Bruce Longfox and Whitney Rencountre of Rural America Initiatives and the Oyate program here in Rapid City. We're talking about the 2018 Native American Day Parade here in Rapid City on October 6th, Saturday, October 6th. So once again, gentlemen, thank you for being here and thank you for the work you're doing in our community. I understand there's going to be 8 contests in the 2018 Native American Day Parade. Could you talk to us a little bit about those contests, sir?
Absolutely. First and foremost, in order to be eligible to participate in the competition for the parade, you must register by October 3rd. And the reason why is because we do have judges. We want to get numbers and all that kind of situated. So to register, we'll have something there, but you could go to www.rcconversations.org and then go to the Native American Day Parade tab. And then if you're registered by October 3rd, you'll be eligible for the top 3 prizes, which are the overall contest, basically who has the best floats. And so we're going to have a prize of $500 for first place, $300 and $200 for second and third. And then we're going to have 5 subcategories. The first one being traditional. So basically the judges are going to be looking for who's replicated maybe something historically of significance in our culture. So that is pretty open, and I think people that are knowledgeable about our traditions and the way life was before we moved to the reservation, obviously that's kind of the integral part of that. And then we have the most spirit. obviously being prideful in what you're sharing. Doesn't necessarily have to be traditional, the most spirit. I think it's, do you represent your organization or what you're trying to display? Do you have a lot of spirit? Are people excited to be in the parade? Are you sharing the energy? And then most humor. Native American humor is a big part of our culture. Our ancestors, through all the difficult times that we've ever faced in our history, we've always found a time to laugh and to share that good nature of humor and joking and teasing with each other. I think that our grandparents say it releases natural medicines, the endorphins, and it makes you feel good, and it creates that connection of relationship. So humor is a big part. Also most colorful, speaks for itself. We can talk about the medicine wheel, whereas we talk about all the different races of people, that we are all created by one creator. And so if you bring a lot of colors and you're vibrant and such, that's what the judges will be looking for. And then also the best res car, I would say that's a classic. It comes in every powwow parade across the country. There's always that car that is barely, sometimes people will push it through the parade, or it drives backwards like the movie Smoke Signals, or you can talk about historical challenges that we faced on our reservations, but we always find a way to get to where we got to get. So the res car kind of replicates that.
Yeah. I was actually driving back from Sioux Falls on I-90 this week, and there was a res car, quote unquote, that flew by me at going at least 90 miles an hour, and it was so fun and interesting to see that go by. But it just brought back that feeling of, when we all drove in those at one point when we were going to powwows with our grandparents or grandmas or whatever the case may be. Good times, though. Bruce, the city of Rapid City has really come together to kind of rally around this event, this parade. This is now in our 4th annual parade that we're having here, Native American Day Parade, excuse me. And so how does that feel as far as one of the organizers, the executive director of the program? How does that feel for you to know that the city really rallies around this event?
It feels really good. It feels like other groups are willing to recognize and support us and celebrate us as a people. Some of the organizations that we've worked with are the Minalusahan Okola Kichiapi ambassadors, the Rapid City Conversations organization, Regional Health, Native Sun News, Liberty Motors has helped with vehicles for the dignitaries, and Rapid Chevrolet has helped with vehicles for the dignitaries. And this year, Black Hills Federal Credit Union wants to get involved, and they want to do some sponsorship, but also put in a float. They've had the really interesting commercials, the best commercials on TV for this year. Also, Black Hills Surgical Hospital wants to become involved this year as a sponsor and maybe have some of the staff in a parade too. But we've had very good support. A lot of the businesses come out and actually do take the opportunity. We're hoping some of the politicians come out, and we're close to our election time here, our midterm elections, and we'd like to invite the politicians to come and take part as well.
And it is important for them to kind of come to these events, whether they're rural or in the larger towns in South Dakota, to have that presence, have that kind of exposure, and to be a part of a Native American event such as this, considering the role that we play in politics in South Dakota. So yeah, definitely. Now, earlier you mentioned a 7-year commitment for this event. What exactly did you mean by that, and what exactly does that mean for you?
For me and for Rural America Initiatives, we wanted to make sure that the parade had an identity and would be continued on into the foreseeable future. We'd like to, from here forward, get as many Native American organizations involved with representatives on the committee, but also to take an active role in celebrating our culture and our history and taking an active role. I think in a lot of areas, like Whitney said, we've had divisions, and that includes among our own people too. And in order for us to have progress, we have to be working together. And this parade is just one of those opportunities for for us to work together as Native people, as well as to invite the non-Native people.
If you look at it through a cultural or traditional lens, this is kind of really a healing ceremony for Rapid City in some ways, in many ways then, correct?
Yes. With the Oyate program, we do many activities. Like we do the Veterans Day powwow. We do hand games for the kids at LNI. We do our own tournament, and then we do a children's powwow in the spring, and then we do a little bighorn celebration in June, and we also celebrate Father's Day. And we try to help with elders picnics in the late summer. And all of these, including the parade and even the powwow, the Black Hills powwow, we see as opportunities for us to work together and collaborate, cooperate, partner, and hopefully build bridges so that we can go forward together in the future.
Sure, well said, sir. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll learn a little bit more about the 2018 Native American Day Parade here in Rapid City. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Our school has great students and dedicated teachers, but we need our community volunteers to help us to provide a broader view of the many ways a good education can point to a bright future.
Did someone say volunteer? Our team at Black Hills is here to help. In fact, we sponsor events and projects, and our employees volunteer for organizations throughout the Black Hills, including partnering with schools to help students learn more about life outside the classroom. Extracurricular, extra fun.
I got a crick in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. All of the ones get on. Very sad and all that I could do was remember you. You know I usually say no, but if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
When discrimination happens in our community, and it does happen,
then it's time to stand up
and speak out to make it stop.
Discrimination hurts and excludes.
We can be better than that.
People of Black Hills have a connection to each other, and none of us deserve discrimination.
The Rapid City Human Relations Commission can help with discrimination issues in housing, employment, and public accommodations.
And each of us, when we see it or hear it, can do our part to end discrimination.
You have a responsibility to stand up and speak out.
Hi, welcome back to Oyate Today. Once again, we're talking about the 2018 Native American Day Parade here in Rapid City on Saturday, October 6th. And our guest tonight is Bruce Longfox and Whitney Rencountre. Thank you both for being here, and thank you for bringing this to our community. I really appreciate this discussion. So I understand. Well, let's talk about volunteerism and volunteer needs. Is there any needs, and can somebody contact you guys as far as wanting to help in some way, in some capacity?
Yes. Once again, if you go to the Rapid City Conversations website that I mentioned earlier, Paula Twist, and you can say the Community Conversations is kind of organizing the volunteers and what we would need help. I think like last year, one of the issues we had is folks were throwing their candy and it would go right underneath their vehicle, so kids were running out and they would get in danger. So we want to make sure that the volunteers go remind all the float goers that they throw the candy far away so that we don't have anybody in danger. And then we also want to let folks know not to throw your candy out in that first block, because we have a lot of people downtown and throughout. So volunteers are really going to help us with logistics and kind of keep things in order, in line, making sure folks are in the right place at the right time. You can never have enough volunteers. So for those that want to volunteer, we certainly appreciate you and encourage you to reach out.
So help within, and you mentioned logistics, you're talking about that staging area then before that coordination that goes on even before the parade starts, then informing the participants, informing the floats, informing the drivers of the needs and stuff, so.
Getting all the numbers out and making sure we've got signs so that the judges can identify the different floats.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have judges then this year too as well?
Yes.
Cool.
We'll have 6 judges. 3 of them have traditionally regularly been from REI and 3 from the community. And we've invited Richie Rich.
Hey, thank you.
to
I'd
be
love to
part
do
of
it.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll be looking for 2 more judges if anybody is interested. Just call me at Rural America Initiatives. But yes, I wanted to repeat that there's no entry fee for the parade. If they don't want to compete in the contest, all they have to do is show up. They're welcome, and all they have to do is show up at 8 a.m. the October 6th, and we'll start the parade about 10 a.m.
And that staging area is where exactly?
It's between 2nd and 3rd on St. Joseph Street. It's the gravel parking lot where the Imperial Hotel used to be.
Okay.
And Prairie's Edge has graciously let us use that for free.
Oh, cool, awesome. Now, Whitney, there's going to be a feed. This is a very unique and special part of this. There's going to be a feed following the parade at 12 p.m. And could you tell us about that? Because I understand it's for participants in the parade. So could you please?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're going to be serving the lunch in Echo Park this year. So we've been working with the folks that are going to be providing the meal to have eco-friendly type serving and such. So that's going to be kind of new this year. So it's kind of right, I would say, on the west side of Hardee's on 5th Street, where we'll be doing the lunch. And yes, we are just encouraging participants to be there and not take too much watecha this year. Last year we had a lot of watecha that was taken, so some folks kind of missed out at the end there.
Sure.
So we just want to make sure that we monitor and helping, and the volunteers once again can help with that. So it's just making sure there's enough for everybody.
Eco-friendly meaning environmental friendly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yes.
So we're talking native
no
style.
CFCs.
Cool.
No styrofoam, anything, yeah, all that. So
Cool.
we're hoping to.
Bruce, I want us to give you an opportunity to have the last word here as far as your parade. So one last word, sir.
Yeah. We wanted to thank Tim and Jackie Gallego for all of their assistance in publicizing the parade throughout the year. And also the Oyate Today show. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. I want to thank our producers, our sponsors. I want to thank Prairie Edge for hosting our show tonight. And I want to thank you for making Oyate Today a part of your night. You've been watching Oyate Today, brought to you by Security First Bank.
Way at all.